On the personnel, Act 93 MOU, a motion and a second to approve the memorandum of understanding with the Act 93 group and the Lehigh Area School District. Attachment closed. We need a motion and a second, please.
So moved. I'll second.
I have a motion by Mr. Fuller, a second by Mr. Wentz to approve the memorandum of understanding with the Act 93 group and the Lehigh Area School District. Discussion.
I have one.
Go ahead, Mr. Bradley.
Who wrote this memorandum of understanding?
It's the same language that was in the contract for the teachers, other than the days, and for the support staff as well, with the addition of the right to know and the recording board secretary.
Excellent. Let's try to answer my question. Who wrote this agreement?
Who wrote it?
Who wrote it? Who authored this agreement? This memorandum of understanding, who authored it?
We had it as part of the agreement.
Yes. Who authored it? Who wrote it on a piece of paper and said, this is what I want this board to approve?
This was actually the same language, if you remember, from 2 years ago that they offered.
One more time. Who wrote this agreement? Do you know? Then don't answer. Mr. Fowler, do you know who wrote this agreement?
No.
Larry, do you know who wrote this agreement?
It's a memorandum of
Memorandum of
understanding between Act 93 and our district.
Thank you. Do you know who wrote this agreement?
Does it matter who wrote the agreement?
Yes, it does,
Why?
because here's why.
It was
It was presented by the Act 93 group. They want to keep their
reserved by the administration too. It's the exact same language that was done 2 years ago.
You guys can have all the fun you want with not knowing what's going on within this district. But the reality is...
First of all, there's a lot of things that you don't know that go on in this district.
I know, and the board should know.
Everything that you don't know is positive.
Okay.
It
Larry,
doesn't take the time to learn about the positives that happen in this district.
Larry, I focus on fixing things that are broken. I don't fix things that
Then
are
you should
fine.
look yourself in the mirror, sir.
So, one more time. If you'd like to have a district that works, when an agreement is made, it's usually written by two parties. The district and the party that the district's having an agreement with. So that's pretty standard operating procedure. Both of those get reviewed by either their attorneys prior to it getting to this board. Secondly, the state Auditor General, years ago, chastised this district specifically for memorandums of understandings that were not properly written. This goes back to the Dave Krause era and the Bowman era and the other knuckleheads, right? So that memorandum of understanding was not legally reviewed. And this board back then approved it. Here's a memorandum of understanding that nobody in this room knows who wrote it. It's on the agenda. We don't know if it was even reviewed by our council, was it?
Yes.
And what was your advice on this?
I haven't seen anything blatantly wrong.
Did you tell that advice to the board as a whole?
Board as a whole never asked me.
Thank you. So that's the problem. Until this board follows some proper protocol about how management works, it's oversight, Larry. You can't just turn a blind eye your whole life. You can't, especially after 5 years, the auditor said, you specifically in this board didn't do your job. Year after year, the judge says malfeasance. You can't do it, Larry. You gotta change your ways.
That's why I'm still sitting here, Mr. Bradley.
Scary, isn't it? I'm fine with scary, because we got a memorandum of understanding. No one in this room knows who wrote it.